Hi everybody, my name is Victoria. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I hope you stick around. Today I am doing my February wrap-up and also just kind of a cozy chat about my currently reading and also what I would like to read in the month of March. And so I almost hesitate to call it a TBR because I'm just in the middle of a lot of things, and honestly, I don't really know what I want to read. I have just a lot of options and a lot of indecision. So we'll chat through that. But first, let's review February. So February was really weird. I feel like I read a ton, but I didn't finish very much. But I am like halfway through a bunch of things. So I really did, like, page count wise, I kind of read a lot. But I'm not like finishing anything, and that's because I'm just in the middle of too many books. So first, let's talk about the things I did finish. Evelyn has decided to scratch herself and make noise while I film because every time it never fails. Here's the perpetrator. She wants to make herself known. Why do you always scratch yourself in the middle of my filming? Why? Oh wait, anyways, Attack on Titan Volume 1. I finished this in February. So if you know me at all, you probably know I'm not really a well-versed manga reader. I've only ever read one other manga, and I don't even think I actually finished it yet. I should go back and finish it. The only other thing I've read is Fruits Basket. So I'm absolutely a manga noob. This was chosen by my Patreons for our Patreon pick for February, and I was happy because, first of all, manga takes no time to read. I read this in an afternoon, and I also I always want to be a person who reads manga and who knows something about manga, but it just hasn't happened yet. So this is like one step closer to me being a more knowledgeable reader. And also, this was just a really interesting story, and I'm going to continue, absolutely. So Attack on Titan is kind of a dark world. It's actually a very dark world. So we find our human race completely terrorized by these humongous Titan giants, as you can see on the cover. They're very humanoid-ish. They are just creepy enough to unsettle you. Like, they look like they're human, but they're definitely not human. So they're creepy. The drawings are quite grotesque of some of them. So you find out that humanity has been terrorized by the Titans for many years. And so humans now live in a walled city, and these are the last humans left, or so we think so far. And so they have like this walled fortress, and one day a really giant Titan shows up and breaks through their fortress, and so it kind of pushes them back into their city. And so we're trying to find out like what's going on, where did this giant Titan come from, and how is the human race going to survive this? And in the midst of that, we just get some weird tidbits about the world and the Titans. And I don't want to say too much, but there's more than meets the eye to this world. And so it's kind of this mystery, and I'm intrigued by this mystery. I love a dystopian world, and I like when they explore like questions of morality, which apparently the series does, especially like later on. Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia and Christy from Christy Lewis Dostoevsky in Space are on like volume 8 or something. So they've been enjoying it, and maybe I can catch up to them. I'm on, well, I have volume 2. So I do plan on continuing soon. So probably in March, I'll read volume 2. But yeah, this was really fun. I'm giving it 4 stars just because it's just like the beginning of a story. There wasn't anything particularly wrong with it. I am intrigued. I'm just not sure, like, I don't know if it's like a 5-star manga series for me, but this was a great start, and I am intrigued. And yeah, it's got some very gruesome scenes as well. Not like too gruesome that would have me stop reading it, but enough to shock me here and there on certain panels. So yeah, if this sounds like you might enjoy this, definitely give it a go. Try volume 1. I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to continue. Next, actually, I didn't finish this next. I think I finished this first, and then I finished Attack on Titan. So we're totally going out of order. But next, I want to talk about The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is the Patreon read right now for Tiffany's Patreon at A Beautiful Minutia. The Two Towers, I had previously thought was maybe one of my favorites, or maybe the favorite for me in the series. And upon reread, I think I'm gonna wait on that statement. I want to read Return of the King to really decide if this is my favorite or not. But actually, between Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers, I think Fellowship is actually my favorite, at least this time around. But The Two Towers is the very middle of the series, and so our characters are well on their way into their journey, and a lot of dark things happen in this. A lot of scary encounters, and this one definitely is more intense, a lot more intense than Fellowship of the Ring. There's something about the pacing of this one that I don't love. I think it's just the fact of like going between Pippin and Merry, and then we don't get Frodo and Sam for a really long time. And then like we're in Rohan and stuff, and we're with Gimli and Legolas and Aragorn. We're with them for most of this book, like 60% of the book. And then we finally see where Frodo and Sam are at, and with Gollum and all that. So I've always feel like the pacing in this is what holds me back from completely loving this middle book. But this is still 5 stars. So I don't know what I'm saying. I still love, it's Lord of the Rings and I love it so much. It's still 5 stars. It's got some wonderful passages as well. It's just like, we're in the thick of it. We're in the thick of it in this one. So I love The Two Towers. It's a harrowing read for sure. A lot of intense things happen. So The Two Towers, 5 stars. I'm incredibly biased when it comes to Lord of the Rings. I'm just enjoying my time. I am listening to the Andy Serkis version, and we get lots of Gollum, which is great. So really enjoying listening to this on audio. Next, I finished Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. So this one I picked up because it has a dog on the cover. So she has 2 tracks of her read-along. It lasts all year, and so every month there's a prompt. And for January, it was either a cat on the cover or a dog on the cover. So I picked dog on the cover, so I'm on the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle track. I had really high hopes for this one, but in the end, it was just okay. I enjoyed parts of it, but I found in this story what didn't work for me was the suspension of disbelief. I felt like I had to suspend my disbelief a little too far. I don't mind doing that to a certain point, but I felt like this was stretching that for me. So this book is about our main character named Sadie. And Sadie is an artist. She paints portraits. That's like what she does. Her whole goal in life is to make money painting people's faces and painting portraits. So something happens to her where she learns that she has a brain tumor, and they have to go in, remove it, do some things. And so she has the surgery. When she's done with the surgery, she finds that she has face blindness. So this is apparently something that can really happen to you, which I didn't know this. So I learned something, and there's like a scientific name for it, and I cannot remember it at this moment, but it tells you about it in this. So she all of a sudden, after her brain surgery, can no longer distinguish people's faces. So like, just think of how terrifying that would be, how disorienting that would be. And our story kind of just goes on from there. Obviously it's a romance, so I won't say anything else because I think part of the fun of these kinds of books is the unfolding of the plot and the story. But that's the basis. This book focuses a lot on the main character, Sadie, and her like personal journey. This is definitely more about Sadie's journey with like her own self-esteem and her own self-worth, how she has to learn how to stand up for herself. She has a really toxic family, and I found that to be an element that was almost like they were so terrible that I almost like I couldn't believe it. Yeah, they were just like so terrible. So that was one thing that I don't know, I just never really bought into that being believable. So I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but yeah, I'm gonna give this like 3 stars probably. It was certainly an interesting premise for a book, which is what made me pick it up. Also, I love the cover. I think it's just a really, really cute cover. Unfortunately, in the end, this one just didn't land for me, but I would encourage you to try it if the premise sounds good to you, because I do think I want to try Catherine Center again. I will pick up something else by her. I have something by her and I can't remember the title. I feel like I have one that's about a firefighter or like a female firefighter, and maybe she falls in love with another firefighter. Something like that. So I have another Catherine Center book and I will give her another go. From what I saw on Goodreads and such, it seems like this one, other people also don't like this one as much as some of her other books. So I know that's very subjective to say. But yeah, I'll try her again, but this one, just okay. And that's actually all I finished in February, just those 3 things. But I am in the middle of several books. I am about halfway through Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, and I am really enjoying this. This has been really fun. I will wait to give a full review until I finish it, but I really like the vibe of this. I like our main characters very much. And yeah, so I'm enjoying my journey through this. I'm like maybe like 45% through this right now. Probably by the time this goes up, I'll be a little further. I also started The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. And this one, I'm just very much in the beginning of it at the moment. But this one's been fun too. I like that it's from the perspective of an older female protagonist. She's a mother, and so we're kind of seeing her later in her life, and she's being dragged kind of back into her previous life. So she was this pirate and was like a very powerful captain of a ship, and some circumstances happen that kind of bring her back into that world after being away from it for a while. And so I'm really enjoying the voice of this. I think the voice of the older female protagonist who's seen a few things and she has a daughter, that's really working for me. It reminds me a little bit of like Sword of Kaigen, which is also behind me somewhere over here. Sword of Kaigen also features a mother main character, and there's something that I just really like about that in fantasy. So I'm enjoying this very much so far. I need to get further in. I'm also probably not halfway through quite yet. I'm still towards the beginning of The Long Loneliness by Dorothy Day. This is for our Lent read-along. I'll put some info down below about that if you want to join us. We're going to have a live show about this. Dorothy Day had an incredible life, and it's pretty shocking, some of the things that she went through, especially like I recently finished the jail section where she's talking about being imprisoned after this protest she was involved in, and just like the terrible treatment in this American prison. And yeah, it's very interesting. She's just such a remarkable lady. I'm really enjoying this. So working my way through that. And I am maybe a little bit more than halfway through The Bullet Swallower by Elizabeth Gonzalez James. And honestly, out of all the things that I'm reading right now, I might love this the most. which is kind of a surprise. I didn't think I was going to enjoy a Western as much as I am. This is just written so well. I want to go read everything that this author has written. This is gritty for sure. This follows, it's a family saga, so we go back and forth between like the great grandfather and then like current times in the book with the great grandson. And I have to put my thoughts together before I really talk about this, but I'm loving it. I think it's exquisite. I love this book. We'll see if I still feel that way by the end. I need to continue. It's a heavy read though. A lot of darkness, very intense, but I love it. It's really good. Apparently I might like Westerns. So this is great. Loving that. Also working on my Way of Kings reread. I know I took off the dust jacket. Oh, it's upside down. There you go. I'm hopelessly at the beginning still. I'm only in like, I don't know, chapter 17 or something. I have been having the hardest time like balancing all the things I'm reading. I'm just reading too many things physically. Some of these I am doing audio as well. Like this one, I'm also using audio. This one, I'm also using audio at the moment. But the other three, Yumi and the Bullet Swallower and Way of Kings, I'm reading physically and absolutely not balancing it well. I think part of that was in February, I was sick like almost the whole month. We've been sick for like 4 weeks. So at night, that's when I usually have time to read. And I was just not feeling well and I would just fall asleep. So my physical reading time has been rough lately. I'm hoping that's going to get better. I am feeling better, even though my voice like has not come back yet. It's probably, I don't know, never going to come back because I'm a teacher and I can't rest my voice ever. So I just keep losing my voice. It's been a very weird experience. So yeah, I'm in the middle of all those things. My priority, honestly, before I start anything else in the month of March, I just need to finish Way of Kings. So my goal is to finish all of these other things and then just focus on Way of Kings. I think that's what I'm going to need to do because yeah, I can't balance all these things. I don't know why I started so many things at the same time, but yeah, it's not working. So that's my goal. Really, if I only finish those in March, that will be fine. However, I also want to participate in middle grade March, of course. So if a miracle happens, or I don't know, I don't know how this will happen, but I have a few middle grade March possibilities. And I'll just go through the pile in no particular order. First, I have Kikis Delivery Service, which I bought maybe last year in like a book outlet haul or something. Yeah, probably book outlet. It has a cat on the cover, so I could use this for that prompt, the animal on the cover. And I love Kikis Delivery Service, the movie, so it'll give me an excuse to rewatch the movie. But this, I believe, is, it's definitely middle grade. It says ages 10 and up. So I didn't realize that Kikis Delivery Service was a middle grade story. But yeah, this would be great to read. I think that would be really fun. I also really should read, with an animal on the cover, I have The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. I've been wanting to read this for a really long time. It's also on my list of 24 books to read in 2024. So this would be great to read and be able to check one of those books off the list. And I really like my little edition with a really cute illustration on the front. But I've heard nothing but good things about The Wind in the Willows. Is this middle grade? I think so, right? I'm pretty sure. Also, I have been dying to reread Redwall and continue in the series because I think I've only read the first 2 Redwall books as a kid, and then I didn't continue because when I was a kid, I don't think I knew enough to like make sure I continued in the series. Like, I would just read the books if I had them, and then if I didn't have them, or if my library didn't have them, I just stopped the series. Like, I didn't ask my parents to get them for me or anything. Like, I just stopped. So I would love to go back and read the whole series. Not in March, though. Just this one. But I would like to start a reread and continue with the series. So Redwall would be really fantastic if I could get to that. And also, this would also work for the one-word title, Redwall. Another one that would work either for Animal on the cover or the one-word title is Dog's Body by Diana Wynne Jones. She also wrote Howl's Moving Castle. And I found this also on Book Outlet. I think I bought some of these things like at the same time, like just a bunch of middle grade books. And this one just had the craziest synopsis. It's like a star who is coming to Earth like through a dog or something. It has to do, it's like kind of sci-fi. And then there's this dog, there's like a dog. I don't know. It's like an alien inhabits a dog. I'm not sure if that's true. But yeah, that's all I needed to know. And I was like, okay, I want to try that. And that it's Diana Wynne Jones. And I just find Howl's Moving Castle to be such a magical book and so well written. So Dog's Body is a possibility. I'm honestly just so intrigued about this one. Maybe that will happen. Another one that I would use for the prompt of a book you missed out on would be Matilda by Roald Dahl. I actually have never read any Roald Dahl before, so I would love to rectify that. I've seen a lot of Roald Dahl movies, but never read the books. Matilda is one that I've wanted to read for a really long time, and it's even probably showed up on some other middle grade March TBRs, but it just hasn't happened for me yet. So Matilda would be great for that prompt, like the perfect book for that prompt. Because I definitely missed out on all things Roald Dahl when I was a kid. Okay, I actually almost very nearly forgot to mention that my Patreon is reading Shark Teeth by Sherry Winston. That's why the camera angle is different now, because I stopped filming and then I had to come back to tell you that my Patreon this month of March is reading Shark Teeth. So this is a middle grade novel about a young girl who's in and out of the foster care system. And this was suggested to us by Christy from Christy Lewis Dostoevsky in Space. Really looking forward to this one. It is a new release as well. So it just came out, I think, in January. So if you would like to join us for this, my Patreon is linked down below and we will have a discussion at the end of March. Yeah. I don't know if any of those would happen because I really just need to finish Way of Kings. That's my priority. I don't want to go too long without finishing Way of Kings. If I'm going to have any hope of rereading the Stormlight Archives before the 5th book comes out, I need to get my butt in gear. But I also want to read all these other things, so it's kind of tricky. But that is all I have to share with you today. That's a lot of books, you guys. That's way too many books for March, but I don't know. Maybe being halfway through a lot of them will help. But let me know if you have read any of these or if you have any thoughts on them. Also, I'd love to know if you have any middle grade March plans. There's a lot of other March read-alongs, readathons happening as well. There's just a lot going on in March. So I'd love to know what your March plans are for your reading life. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I have other places in social media where you can follow me, and they are all linked down below. And also subscribe to this channel if you are not already. I would love to have you along for this journey where we talk about bookish things. Have a great rest of your day. Keep reading great books, and until next time, bye-bye.